Hello again, everyone. Be sure and stay until the end to hear of many traumatic events that have occurred from this subject. As we mentioned in a previous video, we were going to delve into the man-made message that also has infiltrated the Lord's essential message coming from many pulpits around the planet by many televangelists, evangelical, and many others within the Christian culture. Let's trace back to the 19th century to the origins of what we now know as the Rapture. It was largely the brainchild of John Nelson Darby, a renowned British-Irish theologian. We hope to show how the profound influence of this man-made doctrine, how it has seeped into and tainted the Lord's pure message of love for one's neighbor. Now contemplate, have you ever questioned why so many mere mortals possess this deep-seated yearning to escape, to find solace from our struggles and hardships in life? Consider the power of the promise of such a heavenly escape, this very concept known as the Rapture. And for one, it isn't even mentioned in the Bible. As we delve deeper into the human psyche, we find ourselves grappling with the question, why would the rapture resonate so deeply with millions of people? To understand this, let's take a step back and explore possibilities because of the human condition. We're constantly battling with our mortal existence. A life often filled with trials, tribulations, and, of course, the inescapable reality of death. Now imagine a divine intervention, a celestial hand reaching out to you with you being one of God's chosen ones, promising an escape from all worldly woes and eternal life in a paradisiacal kingdom, and leaving the ones not chosen, not good enough, to be left behind to die horrifying deaths, because those people are such sinners. This is the power of the rapture, a concept that offers a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. It's not just about the literal ascension to heaven, but the metaphorical rise above our human limitations. As we journey through this narrative, let's unravel the true essence of the rapture and the kingdom of heaven and their significance in our spiritual journey. The rapture, a concept ingrained in the core of Christian theology, envisages a time when Christ will make his divine appearance amidst the clouds of the earth, snatching believers away from the mundane stresses that mark their existence. However, while those people eagerly await this grand event, it is crucial that we not overlook the omnipresence, omniscient, and omnipotent power of Jesus in our everyday lives. Are they just wasting a lot of their lives in believing such things, one may wonder? Equally compelling is the notion of the kingdom of heaven, a concept that was frequently misinterpreted during Jesus' healing era. Many anticipated that Jesus, hailed as the Messiah, would erect a terrestrial kingdom. Again, a Rambo Jesus. Contrarily, Jesus had no plans of participating in worldly skirmishes. His kingdom was far from being of this world, it stood in another realm. Jesus waged a spiritual war, creating a kingdom in the heavens. He did tell his apostles, the kingdom of heaven and within. Even the apostle Paul said, we are not engaged in a physical combat, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. That is those within our own minds and lives. But let's not forget that the Bible itself is written in correspondences and parables. Yet in our generation, we still use these in our everyday language. We still use correspondences and parables within our everyday speech, music, songs, art, literature, and innumerable other ways, which we will be making a video about that also, but some often use the term heaven in a few ways. One, as a reference to our own lives, maybe within a relationship, a job one loves, or perhaps what one may be seeking to feel as if they would be in heaven. Secondly, heaven also more than likely relates to our belief in a spiritual realm, a tranquil oasis that we anticipate to enter after our mortal journey ends. When we utter phrases such as the kingdom of heaven or our Father in heaven, we're talking about this spiritual heaven, a realm that, while invisible to our physical sight, is entirely visible to our spirit. Jesus, in his profound wisdom, cautioned us against interpreting his kingdom as a physical or political entity, but rather as a state of being that dwells within us. He said, if anyone tells you to look here or look there, do not believe them. The kingdom of heaven is within you. We are to become more heavenly thinking even while in our physical bodies. The Lord even said, take on the mind of Christ. Let's delve into the fascinating concept of the clouds of heaven. This, as used by Jesus Christ himself, was a promise to his disciples, assuring them they would see his return amidst these very clouds of heaven, not physical clouds. Now this rapture interprets this literally by some envisioning Jesus materializing in the clouds in the sky. But it does make one question. What about blind people, people in comas, and so many other variations? Some areas of Earth have no or little clouds. However, an interesting point to note here is that the Bible frequently speaks of the heavens and the clouds of heaven, not in a literal context, but as metaphoric phrases. They are symbolic, representing deeper spiritual concepts, broadening our understanding of the divine. Clouds are mentioned often throughout the Old and New Testaments. For instance, the Lord rode clouds. Another, the Lord was going before them in a pillar of cloud by day to lead them on the way, and in a pillar of fire by night to give them light, that they might travel by day and by night. He did not take away the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. In a nutshell, our spiritual journey is akin not to a physical whisking away out of our shoes into the sky clouds, but a heavenly journey we all take, no matter the time we are here on earth. We have no idea how long we will each be here. The divine promises that await us are not part of a physical realm, but rather the kingdom of heaven, a spiritual sanctuary established by Jesus within us. And Jesus' ever-pervading presence in our lives is reflected through the clouds of heaven, often symbolic of spiritual phenomena rather than literal clouds. We will be making a future video about what the clouds of heaven can truly mean. So let's not dig a little deeper into the human-made roots of the rapture doctrine, which many believers may have no idea about. As mentioned, it can be traced back to John Nelson Darby, a 19th century British-Irish theologian. He was the main proponent of this human-made concept, which discusses a physical divine intervention. This doctrine of Darby's rapidly gained traction, permeating into the teachings of many Christian denominations, and still brings in much wealth to not only the preachers, but the myriad of souls that have made millions of dollars off of books, movies, and other rapture-related ideas. As we unravel these complex spiritual ideas, it's crucial to always remember the Lord's most important commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. And again we ask, as in previous videos, what if the televangelists, preachers, and others that continue to preach these hideous messages were to switch to only preaching the Lord's most important commandment? Yes, they may lose their millions of dollars by not preaching this regurgitated fear and discovering that they have to revamp it year after year, but yet again telling people it's the end times, the rapture is near, again and again. It would be amazing to find out, don't you think? Yet while the belief in the rapture continues, just remember that it has also been the root of immense trauma and suffering. Instances abound of believers taking drastic steps in anticipation of the rapture. Some put their loving pets to sleep, believing they would not survive the end times. Others went to the extremes of charging up credit cards and signing over their homes to churches, convinced they wouldn't need earthly possessions in the afterlife. More tragically, there are heart-wrenching stories of believers who, in a misguided attempt to protect their loved ones, took their own lives and those of their children to avoid the trials of the end times. These are stark reminders of the potential for harm when beliefs are taken to extremes. The psychological impact of these actions is profound and long-lasting, with ripple effects that extend to the wider community. In many cases, these beliefs and actions were and continue to be fueled by the teachings of certain preachers, highlighting the enormous responsibility those who claim to be in spiritual authority hold. But are they truly? Or are they among the false prophets the Lord warned about in Matthew? Hopefully, time will tell. As we explore the complexities of the rapture doctrine, it's important to remember the potential for harm when beliefs are taken to extremes. Thanks again for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and comment below. Until next time!